So Auntieways.
So Auntieways.
So Auntieways.
Girl, what's the tea?
So Auntieways.
You know what? And it's very Halloween. Listen, y'all. We're spooky. We're ooky. My hooker name was Pookie. This is So Auntieways, and I'm actually Shadiamond.
Trust, and this is Miss Matinga, honey, feeling very eyes wide shut today.
Yeah.
And this is Booby.
Oh, shit, girl. The Iceman cometh, honey. Eyes
on-
wide shut, hole wide
my-
open, bitch.
On my face, the Iceman cometh on my face.
So this is our Halloween episode, and it will be dropping on October 26th, to be exact. Halloween,
Lovely.
scariest time of the year. Y'all feeling creepy, spooky, and ooky?
I got me a pumpkin.
Yeah, his name is Bob, honey.
Leave him out of this.
Ah.
Honey, you be eating that pie.
Ooh, that's sweet pumpkin pie.
Eat.
Yes.
You got a
my-
pumpkin for real?
What?
A
In
huge
my app?
pumpkin we put in the outside of the door as decoration.
What-
Because last year we put a pumpkin out there. We forgot to carve it, and it stayed good for 6 months
In Miami?
in Fort St. Petersburg.
Same diff.
That's
Yeah,
crazy with all that human. Actually, I have only carved a pumpkin twice in my life. And one time was with Michael and Michael's sister. Do you think I can mention her name?
Miss Bobby Lynn?
Miss Bobby Lynn.
Miss Linda Bobby?
And I have to say that the three of us turned out our pumpkins. Michael, I know that there's a picture of the three of those pumpkins somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
please put a picture. We turned those pumpkins out and we put them on her lawn. They were fierce.
Well,
honey.
because the thing about her is she does it efficiently.
Yes.
She printed out the designs we wanted.
Right.
And
Exactly,
then you,
yeah.
you tape it to the pumpkin and you do like little pin
Exactly.
pricks to
But
trick.
then she gave us proper equipment.
Right.
Like she actually had the equipment to, because you don't use a knife. They actually sell like these pumpkin carving,
Yeah.
Right.
like very
Yeah.
dull knives.
Yeah.
And like the fierce part was like actually taking all of the gunk out. Like that was the gross part.
And somehow you did turn it into a fisting story, by the way.
Of course.
Also, I think that was the
course.
year that we put her dog in drags. Remember?
Yes.
Where little
yes.
Brie was wearing a wig with curlers
her,
in it.
her dog Cha Cha Brie.
Yeah, Miss Cha Cha Brie.
Cha
Yeah.
Cha Brie.
So before we get into the meat of it, so to speak, do you have any Halloween plans? That's a very simple yes or no.
No, aside from watching good Halloween movies. Although last year I did go to Drag and Drive in the Halloween edition with
Yeah.
my dear friend Donna,
Yeah.
and it was fucking
Oh, Donna.
amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
Donna. Oh, Donna. Not your sister Donna, but my
Yeah.
Donna.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing. Evie Oddly was there. It was really, really cool. I've gone to 2 drive and drags. They're so good.
Booby, plans?
I'm planning on putting a little table out front with candy in little plastic bags for the kids because lots of kids come by here.
Oh.
And then maybe possibly going to a Halloween party at somebody's house.
Word.
Nice. I like Halloween
Maybe.
parties. I do.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, I wish I if I had an outfit, I'd wear it, but I don't think I'm going to have an outfit for that.
You still
Can I
got
tell-
time.
Can I tell a slightly sad Halloween story? But it's not sad, not for me. It's not a sad story for me. So my sister lives in a really nice neighborhood called Whitestone in
Whitestone
in New York
Bridge.
City.
White Stone.
Whitestone. It's very that. And
Yeah.
so she she had just bought her house. This was many years ago. It's a beautiful house. She still has that house. She put together all these bags of candies with like little toys in them. Like she really went all out because it was like the first time that like she owned a house.
Right.
You know, it's very that kind of neighborhood. Blah, blah,
And
blah,
they
blah,
burned
blah.
a cross on her lawn.
Well, so there was trick or treating all over her block, but none of the kids came to her house. Not a one.
Wow.
Not a one. And then at one point she was like, maybe they don't know that the house is sold. So she sat in front with a little thing, and none of the kids came to their house. Probably a little something to do with racism.
All she did was adobo the
Probably.
chicken.
And so
Yeah.
she took all this candy and she drove to our house, to my house.
And you guys didn't answer the door.
to give the candy to me. And I was like, girl, like this is Bushwick. Like the kids go to the stores, they do not go to houses
Yeah.
in this neighborhood. It's too dangerous. This candy will go to and she burst into tears.
Um,
And I was like, girl, let's get in your car. I was like, girl, let's get in your car, and we went down to Knickerbocker, and like we sat on the hood of her car, and we were like, candy, and they were, and
You
the kids came
you
and got
turned
her
that
candy.
frown upside down.
I did, but like it was about to be like a sad Halloween,
And she wasn't hiding her candy.
she was not. She doesn't have to hide her candy,
All she did was adobo the chicken. But here's the thing,
honey.
you know, you turn that frown upside down.
Yes.
And I know that I'm in this residential area. There are going to be kids. So I am going to give out not candy. I got little biohazard bags, and I'm going to I got gauze. I'm going to cut gauze into squares and dip it in red food dye like it's blood and put it in the biohazard bags. And honey, that's what they get. Step to this porch, see what you get.
For real.
Yeah.
I love that in a way. I kind of love that.
Yeah, honey.
You should
Those-
get
I
that
thought-
and a candy bar.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage this kind of nonsense.
Some cough drops, like something, something
A
like
Tic Tac.
a Tic Tac.
Tac, maybe. I don't know. Also, the kids around here, honey, they're all obese with diabetes. Oh no, wait, that's me. So why don't we do our first segment? Anthony, stop looking at the comments. Why don't
No,
we do our
I can't say. I'm looking at Booby. When I'm looking this way, I'm looking at Booby, and when I'm looking this way, I'm looking at you. If I'm looking at the comments, I'm like this.
Okay,
Right,
all right.
But I
all
can't.
right.
I can't read the comments anyway.
Well, you know what? Let's acknowledge, Matinga, your mask that you're wearing. It's quite lovely.
Thank you. I bought this mask in Venice, and if you've ever been to Venice, there are masks out the wazoo all over St. Mark's Square. But I found one of two actual, true remaining, like true Venetian mask stores.
Yeah.
And Venetian masks are actually, they're like paper mache. They're like clay and paper mache. And I didn't like them because they were too thick and they were super expensive.
The papier-mâché ones?
Yeah, because they're artisan. They're truly
Okay,
handmade.
they're
There's
heavy.
and they're heavy. And there's only two of those stores left because now all the masks come from China. But then I saw this mask, which is made out of wire, in the store, and I was like, "What about that mask?" And she said, "Oh, that mask was a lark. I just took and I fucked with it, and I took a piece of metal and and I was like, I love that. Like, how much is that?" And she was like, I don't know.
It's very
And then
cool.
yeah, and I was like, I want that one, and she sold it to me like relatively cheap.
It's really, I think
Relatively cheap,
it's
yeah.
actually beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like if you see it in person, it's so beautiful.
And it's a little bit Batgirl, which I know is probably a selling point for you.
Yeah, it's like for that day, like when you wake up and like you're like a superhero villain all of a sudden. And
Like
you're
every
"Oh,
day.
How fierce! I already have the mask.
I have a really cheap like Party City Venetian mask that I mopped from a sex party I went to.
Yes,
do you remember that?
I remember that sex party.
Girl.
I mean, I didn't go to that sex party, but I remember the
Honey,
story.
this was in Brooklyn, and it was like you had to check your clothes in. It was like, not optional, it was mandatory, but
Right.
you kept your shoes on. And I said to the guy that was running it, I said, well, you know what? I like to keep it on the DL, keep it tasty, keep it cute, and I'm a private bish. So make sure that there's a mask for me. Because you could have that option too. Although
So did you do nude? You did nude?
Yep.
That's
But-
crazy.
But
That's
but
crazy.
I had the mask and I had the boots. And you know what the weird thing is? I didn't do anything. Like I watched, but I was kind of, not to be judgy, I was kind of disgusted.
No, you told me like there was the queen that like they were like writing on her butt like every time she took a
Not just
load or
one.
something, and
They would
like,
have
ew.
numbers on them. They would have numbers like with a Sharpie. And then at
Yeah.
the end, they would vote on who was the, okay,
Well,
listen.
you know what?
Bottom.
Listen, prep is not 100%, sure that you're going to be protected.
I was just like, I'm getting up
Listen,
out of
yeah,
here.
There are other
so
things:
funny.
gonorrhea, syphilis. you know.
Yeah.
Well, I was just like,
HPV?
it was, you down with HPV? Yeah, you know me. I was just like, look, there's going to be like craziness. It was 2 subway stops. I had nothing else to do. Anyway,
One time, just real quick, just for like naked parties. So I don't do naked parties, and so, but we,
Yeah, me neither.
You have a friend, Michael, or an acquaintance, or like sort of a business acquaintance.
Careful.
Miss Daniel Nardici.
careful, darling.
Like Daniel. No, like you maybe written stuff
Yeah,
for him.
okay,
Like I
yeah,
know you know
yeah.
Daniel.
Everybody know. Everybody
Not
knows
that you
Miss
suck that dick
DN.
for free, darling.
Everybody knows Miss Daniel.
Miss Daniel, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he is very famous for throwing naked parties on Fire Island. in New York
Underwear
City.
parties.
Underwear party. Well, in his party in New Orleans is the Devil Wears Nada.
Buck
It's
naked.
completely naked. And so anyway, I'm on Fire Island on my birthday weekend with my dear daughter Robert, who I saw yesterday. He's doing great, guys. And
We didn't ask, but go on.
we walk to the party, and like we get to the door, and nobody had realized, oh, this is Daniel's party. It's only underwear. And so of course, like all the queens that I'm with, I'm with like Chad, and I'm with Miss Robert, and I'm with all these queens that are absolutely stunningly beautiful, and they're like, oh, whatever, and they're like, fine, we'll strip down to our underwear. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm like, can I wear a onesie?
Oof.
They're like, no, it's got to be
onesie.
underwear. Can I wear a onesie, with a backless onesie or something? And they're like, no, it's got to be underwear. And I was like, I am not taking my clothes off.
You didn't go in?
No. And I was on this was many, many years ago. I was like
Right.
all fucked up on like several hits of E. I was stripping my face.
Miss Thing, did you
All-
feel shame because you were wearing adult diapers?
Girl, look, listen.
You went into the Judy Garland Memorial
Yes.
Redrack, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Because honey, and I
Because
had a
adult
lovely-
diapers, honey.
And
Waste
I had
not,
a
want not.
lovely, honey, I got so lost. I thought I was, because we were in the Pines, because all these queens got money, I was honey, I ended up back over by Cherry Grove. I had to find my way in the dark. I mean, I had fun, but finally I was like, I'm just going to the beach. I want to walk
Well,
back on the beach.
you
Like, I'm
walk
just
along
gonna go.
walk along the water's edge, because then it's
Yeah.
a straight line. If you get all
Yeah.
tricky and whatnot in the fucking woods,
But then of
girl.
course they're like, girl, look at that old man in there. Like, look at it. Like, look
they
at
were
this-
talking about you.
Yeah. Well, no, but they're like, look at that old man in there. Look at that disgusting creature over there. And I'm like, what are you trying to say?
Oh, they were trying to hook a sister up.
No, they were like, girl, if they're naked, then fucking get naked.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm like, see, look at that fat old man over there. Like, oh, look at that mess over there, girl. You can take off your clothes. I'm like, with friends like these.
right. Who needs enemas?
Thank God I'm on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a lovely weekend. So don't get me wrong. It was
Yeah.
so lovely.
I mean, in general, I don't do those kind of soirees, but I
Yeah.
was, it was a
I
thing
did
to
in
do
the past. In the past, yeah.
in the past. I
There's
mean,
always that queen that's really gassy because she had a burrito for lunch, and you're like, girl, why did you come?
why did you come all
She's
over
like
my
trying to
boob?
be like, yeah, she's trying to like be all like silent but deadly, and you're
No.
like, but everyone suddenly everyone's like dancing all
Nah.
mad.
Nah, girl, nah. Nah. But I mopped the mask. I don't know why exactly. I just did. I just did.
Yes.
And then actually I hung up with that guy later, the guy that threw the party, because I wanted to press him for information. And I got the lowdown and the gritty details about how you do that kind of thing and all the ins and outs, just because I was curious about that part of it.
That
Yeah.
party is like an underground, only in the know,
Oh,
like truly dangerous, like
girl.
in the middle of COVID.
Well, they stopped it for a while though, but now
Yeah,
it's
for
back.
a short while.
This-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that party is notorious.
Yeah, honey. But we're gonna move on from that little topic. I want to talk about Booby's Halloween look. What you got going on there, Boo?
I am the Puerto Rican Captain Kirk. Captain Suarez.
Captain Suarez, darling.
Captain Nelson Suarez.
All you did was adobo the chicken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learn it.
Is that the whole story?
And you look,
Yeah.
and you know what? You look dashing. That I love the piping. It's kind of like a
nice.
take on the original
Yeah.
Mhm.
Star Trek costume. Like not even like the original one that they moved on to. Like that looks like the original one.
The little.
I love it.
What is
I love
that?
it.
What is that badge called? The little communicator badge. Is that
Yeah.
metal? Because I see it
Yeah.
reflect. I
It
see it
comes up.
reflecting shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And where did you get that?
Torres realness, exactly.
Balana Torres realness. And Miss Matinga, you're also wearing an Elvira shirt to keep up the Halloween theme.
We, LGBTQ
We live.
icon.
We live for Miss Elvira.
And of course also
Miss Cassie.
I love her so much, Miss Cassandra Peterson. This is a Glenn Hansen image,
Work, Glenn.
honey, that is licensed and
I
paid
love his
for.
artwork. I love his
I
artwork.
love his artwork.
Yes.
He paints all the divas.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to give you a little bit of a little
I'm
bit
waiting
of
for him to get
flavor.
around to doing me. I mean, my portrait. Or he could do me too. It's all good.
Yeah, sure.
Well, and I want to say that I'm wearing my orange colored Auntieways shirt because it's Halloween. And I did add a little color to my hair. Now,
Did you?
I'm going to say this, okay? I didn't exactly plan this, right? I didn't realize when you spray all this stuff on, number one, it drips.
Right.
So I had all kinds of crisscross colors down my face, down my neck, my pussy,
Giuliani.
my crack. All yes, it was very that, but much more vibrantly colored. Also, I should have done it outside because I was in the bathroom and I didn't have the vent on. And
It's
I know,
toxic.
bitch, I'm high on those motherfucking fumes, girl. Because
So
I did
that is-
I did the blue and I'm like, ooh, I think I got a buzz. So then I did the yellow, and the pink and the red. I may pass out halfway through.
It came out terrific. I honestly thought that you had panicked yourself.
No,
Like that's just a little spray-on feeling.
it's just that cheap shit you get at wherever, Dollar General or wherever the fuck I
Word.
like it. It's been so long since I've had colored hair. I used to have I did blonde, I did blue, I had turquoise with a blue stripe. But let's get into it, shall we? Which segment do you want to start off with for our Halloween special spooktacular? Do you want to do what we're featuring or a
Sure.
crush?
I
Featuring.
can't read my notes.
Okay, Matinka, I think we got the paper plate. You're gonna cause a frenzy of people wanting that plate.
I'm
Exactly.
ghetto. It was the only clean piece of paper I had aside from toilet
I'm going
paper.
to send you a notebook for Christmas.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. So, well, then I'll start since you're still doing the paper plate thing and not ready. What I'm featuring is a little movie called Trilogy of Terror.
Oh,
From the 70s, a TV
Yes.
movie that
Love it.
I haven't seen in like a million years.
yeah.
But just to get into the spirit of Halloween, I did watch it the other night, and I got to say that I kikied at the last segment. Let me tell you,
The doll.
the doll,
The doll.
the doll, Karen Black. If I didn't
Miss-
mention that.
Honey, the beautiful horror of Miss Karen Black, honey.
So I'm watching the first two
cross-eyed.
without slightly cross-eyed, right?
Yeah.
But like totally amazing. And I watched
Yeah.
the first two, and I'm like, I kind of remember, but it's been so long. And honey, then I got to that third one with the Zuni warrior doll.
Mhm.
It's possessed.
Yeah.
Honey, I kikied and laughed so much at that nonsense with that crazy ass doll coming at her.
It's
I'm-
done so well.
Cause like the doll is like on crack. It's
Yeah, for
coming
the
at her.
time.
But I'm sitting there howling with laughter. So it didn't scare me, but it
No.
sure enough brought me joy. Trilogy of Terror with Miss Karen Black.
It's
Oh!
a Halloween classique.
Do you know who else is in it for a hot minute? You know the first segment where she's like the school teacher, and trigger warning, there's kind of like, I don't want to use these words, but there's some like ill-advised seductions going on with students and things.
Mm.
The last guy that shows up at her apartment is a young and delicious Gregory Harrison.
Oh
you-
my.
Do you
Honey,
remember Gregory Harrison? He was so beautiful.
I mean, just what a hunk. He is just tasty as hell. Here, I'll give you a little peek. Get into him. How handsome is that man?
Wow.
Yeah.
Look
he's
at
beautiful.
the face. So cute. I was like, girl, do what you got to do. Trilogy of Terror. Get it done. Gregory Harrison. My basement is flooded. Who's next?
I had a tiger beat with Gregory Harrison where he's
Oh,
wearing
word.
just a little tiny, like a
Loincloth?
pair of like a little blue, not a Speedo because it was like a square cut, like it was like a boxer cut, but it was super, super tight.
boxer briefs.
But yeah, and he's like giving like that very 1970s pose, but his hair was like the length it was for Trapper John,
Mm.
and he looks so damn good.
What a hunk.
yeah,
Damn.
right up there. Do you remember the Colbys? And then there was
With Stephanie Beacham?
with Miss Stephanie Beacham.
Yeah.
And then they had the fake Fallon.
Oh,
Remember? Fake Fallon. It wasn't the original Fallon. It was the other
Emma
chick. It was
Sams.
Miss Emma Sams, who could never come for the original Fallon. But
She could
then
never come from Miss Pamela Sue Anderson,
she
darling.
married. I think she married the guy was named John James. That actor's name is John James.
Okay.
That fucking man was so beautiful.
Oh, word.
Like, honey, the 80s, honey. The 80s, darling.
I was going to go off on a slight tangent. And I think I will. When you mentioned John James,
Yeah.
you know that Cher song, Just Like Jesse James? Just
Love
like
it.
Jesse James.
Love that song.
Every time I hear it, I think she's saying, just like Jimmy James.
Just like Jimmy James.
A drag queen we don't like.
That's
But,
right.
but I always hear that in my head. I think, well, it was so funny if she did that. Okay. Who did I interrupt? Who's going next?
Go ahead, Matinga.
So what we're doing, what we're featuring this week.
Yes.
Mhm.
So in keeping with what we're featuring, I am featuring this week Halloween Kills. So like in this trilogy of films, every film after the original Halloween never happened. Halloween 2, H2O,
Wow.
they're all wiped from existence. So now it's Halloween, the original Halloween, Halloween 2017, which I thought was cute. You know, it's a movie that talks about trauma, and and of course there's killing and carrying on, and Jamie Lee Curtis, who is the fucking diva. She's like, she's very, very regular, and she's a diva. And then there's
Playing
Halloween
the
Kills.
same character, Laurie something, right?
Playing Laurie Strode.
Laurie- yeah, okay.
Right? So what they've wiped away is that Laurie is his sister, because that's what Halloween 2 started. That he's after her because Laurie is his sister. But
Right.
like in this particular universe, Laurie is
Possible
not
spoilers.
his sister.
Possible spoilers. Remember
20
your
years
hand.
later.
Remember your hand signal.
Yeah, well, but honey, it's 20 years. It came out in 2017.
Okay.
But possible spoilers. So, but I don't want to give anything away. But like, oftentimes sequels are not terribly good. You have a couple. Empire Strikes Back and
Superman
2, and you have
Indiana
a couple
Jones
great
and
sequels.
Temple of Doom.
The
And
Wrath
the Temple of
Khan,
Doom.
The Wrath of Khan. There are some good sequels, but usually sequels kind of suck. Halloween Kills was so fierce.
Mm.
I enjoyed it. It was bloody. I'm not even gonna say because
Don't
because
because you
I'm not
know.
gonna say what happens, but like it is so.
I'm
good,
gonna
and it
guess
ties-
somebody gets killed,
Oh,
and it's
and it
Halloween.
ties- and there are LGBTQ characters.
Kill them.
There are
Kill them now.
characters.
Kill them now.
One of like
Do
there's a straight boy who runs around in a dress the entire 2 movies. 2 movies he's been running around in a dress because it's Halloween night. And he's actually really sympathetic and cool character.
Mm.
And but also this movie ties the first 2 movies to it so well, like really masterful. So what I'm featuring this week is Halloween Kills and Dune, which is not a Halloween.
But we will get to that at some other day.
Some other point. Booby.
Booby, what are you featuring, babe?
I am featuring a movie from 1972 that was made for TV that scared the bejesus out of me for a long, long time. The name of it is called Gargoyles.
Oh my God. Yes. Oh, Booby, I love that movie.
Gargoyles. All right.
Love
I
it.
think
Love it.
Honey, I dated a few of those. Shit. Miss Gargoyles, bitch.
That's the
Ooh.
gargoyle.
Oh, that's
Yes.
creepy looking.
Yeah. And he's got wings
And
he's
he's
got
wings.
an evil voice and
Wow.
it's a really good horror film.
It
Is
really is.
Is it like claymation? He looked kind of waxy.
No, it's live action and there are 70 stars in it. I couldn't even tell
early
you who.
70s TV
Early
stars.
70s, yeah.
But for a TV film,
It was pretty
really
good, pretty good, well done.
Absolutely.
Bring back my gargoyles.
My gargoyles, exactly. Oh,
You
we
know-
can get into that at some other point as
Well,
well,
I don't
honey,
wanna go-
with
I
the
don't-
riggery, honey,
I don't want to go down a big old RuPaul
Rabbit
zone
hole.
here,
because
I do want-
it's huge.
but I've decided that I am gonna get on RuPaul's Drag Race as my new character, Souffle You Stay, just so I can hear her say, Souffle You
Souffle.
Stay, Shantae away. I'm gonna make it happen.
But Miss Thing, a couple years ago, maybe like 8 years ago or so, you and I were truly going to send in a tape to Rue
Yep.
as the first two-headed Siamese drag queen act.
Conjoined drag queens.
Conjoined drag queens.
We were
And
going to be
like,
olive loaf and rosemary potatoes.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And like we had like a dress. Honey, we were working on it.
Yeah.
Like we were like, we're
Yeah.
gonna make this
That's a
happen.
great idea.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened, but we were like, ah, fuck it. But like we like kind of went down that road a ways.
And then 2 years later, they did it.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
There was a two-headed drag queen this past.
It was, but no, it was
week
a
on
challenge.
Canada.
It was a challenge on season 7 or whatever. And I was like, did I say
Yeah.
something out loud I shouldn't have said? Regardless
yes.
and irregardless, it's gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Motherfucking
Booby, what a freaking classic!
great choice.
Yeah.
And wonderful choice. Isn't the actress in that film the same actress from the original Don't Be Afraid of the Dark? Isn't it the same chick?
Possibly.
Is that the same
Possibly.
chick from Clarissa Explains It All?
No. Oh, wait a minute.
Or is it?
No,
and just
no.
briefly, I want to say last night I did watch Hocus Pocus.
Ah.
I
For the
love
very
Hocus
first
Pocus.
time, I watched it with my friend Steven.
What
I
did you think?
Oh, what a
You hated it.
what a garbage movie. Here's the thing. Maybe you had to have seen it in the 90s. But I thought, first of all, I didn't really realize that it was for children.
It's
Right.
for children. It's for kids. It's a
And I was
Disney
like,
flick.
these people are stupid. This is dumb. I did like the musical number when Bette sings "I Put a Spell on You."
Oh,
Yeah.
she turns it out. Girl.
That was a hoot. But I was like, I
Yeah.
think maybe you had to see it in its first
When you-
incarnation.
When you were young, and then it'll be nostalgic.
Right.
When you-
It's
right,
nostalgia.
when you
but
were
also,
young.
also, what I want to say is that people have never ever said that this is some brilliant film.
Because it's
Like,
garbage.
That's not what their love is about. Like it's a camp. You know,
But not
it's-
can't
it's
be
a-
enough. And it's not
a
even, and
camp,
it's not
fun little
scary.
kids film. Yeah, and it is aimed at kids. So if you grew up, you still love it. But what
Right.
really seals it, is because Miss Kathy Najimy's wonderful and Sarah Jessica Parker.
They don't give them anything to do in it.
They're fine. Also,
They're fine.
Bette and Sarah Jessica did not get along on set.
But they're
No.
doing it Hocus Pocus Part 2.
But they're doing Hocus Pocus Part 2 finally because the film finally just blew up. There are live stage shows at Disney during
Yeah.
Halloween
Yeah.
where the Sanderson sisters come out and do I Put a Spell on You.
I just didn't
I
feel
just-
it.
I love it. It gives me so much joy.
I mean,
I
I don't
love
want
it
to.
too.
I don't want to hate on it too much. You know, I'm seeing it as a person now in my mid 30s. If I had seen it when it first came out as a teenager, fine. I will say that Bette Midler, always enjoyable, and that little
Always.
actress Thora Birch as the little girl,
yeah.
Laura Bird,
she
honey.
she was the best character in the whole thing, and
The
the,
best
actor.
actress.
Yeah, she was really
And-
good. So I'll give props. And,
and
Max was cute for someone that young. He was cute.
Saru, Doug Jones,
Miss Doug Jones as the zombie,
as the
Right.
zombie, honey.
Right.
giving you
Miss
like
Doug
extra from
Jones.
fucking Thriller.
Yeah,
honey.
serving you. He's always so wonderful, Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you do him?
Hell no.
I would do him as Saru or the water creature from that water movie,
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water for chocolate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as Doug Jones,
Hell no.
It's just okay. For
Wow, what a judgmental cows you are. Hateful.
You
Well,
would?
Yes, I would, because what's important to
Oh,
me is
yeah.
what's inside.
me. Inside.
I'm talking about his
Somebody take it
pancreas. What?
Honey,
Hey.
listen, I'm a fisting top. There's nothing more important to me than what's inside. Okay.
Ugh. All
Talk
right,
about
listen.
Halloween, honey.
Let's talk about Halloween kills, darling.
Honey.
I've seen the first Halloween, and I have Halloween 3 Season of the Bitch for some reason,
Which is tired.
which I've never seen. But you know,
So tired.
I'm not a horror queen, darling.
It's completely unrelated to all the rest of the films.
Right.
Let's talk about who we would hit up, which is the segment we call Crush. Who'd like to
Yeah.
kick it off? Who'd like to kick it off? I have a feeling someone's going to say exactly what I'm going to say. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go first.
Go for it, booby. Who you feeling it for?
So my crush, I have seen for a while, and I just saw the movie.
Does he have a name?
Yes, he does. It's John Krasinski.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
married
There's-
to Emily Blunt.
Mm-hmm.
You see him?
Oh,
Yeah, he's hot. Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
from The Office.
Delicious.
This is when he was in the office.
That because his
Love
quiet
him.
is it called A Quiet Place? Is that the horror?
Yes.
Okay. All
Parts
right.
1 and 2. Now he's an auteur, a director.
He's fucking
Yeah.
tasty.
Yeah.
They're talking. They've been talking about it for a while now about getting him to play Reed Richards in
He'd be
Fantastic Four,
perfect.
and
Oh.
Emily Blunt as the woman, his wife.
Perfection. I
Yeah.
mean, when they chose fucking Jessica Alba, I was like, you can choose this Latin chick who's not even a true blonde to play this waspy character.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was-
come on.
She was the wife? Is she the invisible bitch?
Yes, Sue
Yes.
Storm is the wife of Reed Richards.
Her power is invisibility.
Visibility.
But no,
And
and
force
force fields.
Okay.
And Spears, I love that
and
power.
Reed Richards, he's a stretchy guy.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
can stretch any part of his body.
Any
Yes.
part.
I'm into it.
But
I'm
he's
into
also
it.
the like brilliant, like Tony Stark. Who's the sister of a Black Panther?
Oh,
Shuri, like,
LaQuisha.
like Sue,
Oh, Letitia.
Look, Miss Letitia
Miss
Panther.
Booby.
Letitia Panther.
Yeah.
He's that level genius. He's
He's
truly
He's
genius.
cute. I feel like I saw him in some kind of action film. Miss
Yes,
Krasinski.
he was in it's an HBO film where Tom Cruise played the original.
Yes, it's a series.
Yes.
Mission Impossible?
No, it's
No.
based on a spy novel series.
It's, remember Hunt for Red October? That's the same series of novels.
Okay. All right.
Jack Ryan.
Reacher.
Oh, yes.
No,
Oh, Jack Ryan.
Jack Reacher is Tom Cruise.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's all a reach for me. Well,
Yeah.
that's an excellent choice. Well, then
Thank you.
I will say that my crush this week, and we are keeping it within the Halloween theme, is the one and only Alexander Skarsgård
Oh,
as Eric
Oh.
Northman on True Blood.
Yes.
Delicious, honey. I'd be a fang banger for him.
Trust.
He's just tasty, tall, blonde.
Really
yes.
wonderful.
Over.
His
Over.
son of Stalin, Skarsgård, who is
Yes.
currently
Who was
in
in
Dune,
Dune.
who was in Dune and Avengers and in many movies.
mm.
He gave you full frontal in that scene, by the way.
Yes, he
He served
did.
you full frontal.
Yes,
And
he
then
did.
his brother portrays the new iteration
Pennywise.
of Pennywise
Pennywise,
uh,
pound foolish.
of Miss Pennywise. Yes.
Alexander Skarsgård, take a
I
bite out
love
of
that.
crime. Take a bite out of crime.
We just saw a movie with him in the future, and he plays a he can't speak, and Paul Rudd is in it. He plays the villain. It's a really good movie. We
Paul
were
Rudd's
shocked.
another tasty one.
Another one,
Paul
yeah.
Rudd.
So wait,
another
he's
one.
like
Another one.
who's cocooned.
Who's cocoon?
So he plays like a mute.
A mute bartender who's in love with one of the cocktail waitresses in this club in the future, and she is in love with him.
Club
and then
Elogium. Yes.
she disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Club
I'm gonna have to
Elogium.
check that out. Club Elogium, darling.
You know who I also loved from True Blood was Sookie's brother. I fucking
Oh,
loved that. He was
Jason?
Yes.
Jason was so fucking hot. I don't remember the name of the actor. It's an
He
Australian
always
actor.
had to have his shirt off.
Oh,
and what- he
thank
was
God.
just stupid and beautiful, just
He
the way I like them.
He was a hunk, bitch. I would have given him a bump of V and had my way, bitch.
I would have totally done some V.
I would have done V.
I would have totally done some V.
I'm
honey.
still looking for it, girl.
I am, honey. I loved how they did the V. How the girl that remember the girl that Jason wakes up with that morning and she's dead.
Yes.
And it's not a spoiler because it was years and years ago. But how they did the V was she took an aspirin and she put just a drop,
and it
of
absorbed
V
it. Yeah.
onto the aspirin, and then she cut the aspirin up into powder, and they snorted the V.
Yep.
And I sat there going, I gotta have some.
I
V.
need some V.
Want some V.
And let's not sleep on Alcide, honey.
Miss
Oh,
Alcide.
never.
You know what? True Blood had the hottest fucking monsters, honey.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
And
but
Who was
also,
the bar owner? Merlot.
who I
Sam?
love,
No,
Sam.
Yes.
His name was Sam on the show.
He
but
was the
that's not what's going on.
shapeshifter. The
Yeah.
shapeshifter.
I loved him. But also, let's not forget who has passed away now. The one, the
Lafayette.
Miss Lafayette.
Ah.
What an incredible and
Yeah.
powerful LGBTQ character.
Yeah.
And she wasn't, a lot of times on shows like the gay characters, just a little bit of comic relief and a little bit of like on the side here. Honey, she got up into the madness.
Yeah.
Such a great character. And we have lost Nelson now. He is he passed away. It's really sad.
And on the show, wasn't he dating a witch, a bruja, a brujo?
A bruja, yes.
Yeah.
A brujo.
All he did was adobo de chicken. Matinga, who was your crush? Oh, she out. Okay, everybody, Matinga's had enough. She has had enough of my adobo the chicken joke.
Oh, that
She's
scared me.
not feeling it. So while we wait for her internet to click back on, hello, everybody. Be patient with us. Let's pull up another picture of Alexander Skarsgård just for shiggles, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we do that? God, hot damn potato internet. Ah, look at him, kind of naked, kind of fangy. All right,
Oh my.
let me bring this bitch back in.
So I'm
Hey,
about
girl.
to say, oh, I'm broadcasting on a potato, and then I pop back into the studio and I hear this bitch going, she's broadcasting on a fucking potato. Bitch.
I think it's a wonderful concept. Like, you know how you can make a battery out of a potato?
yeah.
You
Which
know.
is what I said last week.
Yeah,
Fighting
science.
my rhymes.
But that's
Fighting
why
my
it's
rhymes.
funny, honey. After all the material I have given you over the years, girl, I created you, honey.
Oh,
Yeah, we
created me. You didn't create me. You didn't create me. What's that quote from? What's that quote from?
I'm gonna say something about like show business.
You didn't create me. You didn't create me.
What is it from?
It's from the Jennifer Beals version of The Bride of Frankenstein. with
Ah.
Sting.
Well, honey, call me Diana
Yeah.
Morales because I feel nothing.
So, excuse me that I'm so close to the screen, but I cannot see without my glasses. So I'm just.
That's okay,
attempting
honey,
to
because don't nobody
share.
see you need the.
With
Girl,
glasses.
Don't
Don't nobody
make
see
me,
you
girl.
need the. What you gonna do, girl?
Don't make
Lob
me,
a potato with me,
honey.
girl.
I will have to.
All
You'll be
you do is
forcing
adobo
me
the
to,
chicken.
honey.
You ain't doing that, girl. Halloween kills, bitch, but I slay.
Bitch, this
Don't
is-
try.
Look, this is Halloween, honey.
Let's see it, bitch. Bring forth, darling. Okay,
Am
all
I
I see is
sharing?
you ain't sharing
Yes, you are.
nothing.
Okay,
I see
so
a
hold on,
train. I see a
gotta-
train. Matinga's in love with the train because her asshole is like the fucking Holland Tunnel. Okay,
Oh,
who's that?
Timothy.
So,
All
Miss
right.
Timothy Chalamet. I love
Carter,
Timothy
Carter,
Chalamet.
Carter.
Carter. Oh, the camera loves him.
Yeah.
But the thing about Timothy is that he's not just a pretty face. He's like the new Leo DiCaprio, honey.
Yeah.
He is a truly gifted actor. I don't know if you've ever seen, Call Me by Your Name. He's been in so many things. He was in Little Women. Like, he's a gifted young actor. And he's a straight guy. But honey,
She knows.
she knows the tea, honey. She knows who's looking at these pictures.
I
Mhm.
gotta.
And I just adore him. And right now he's playing Paul Atreides in Dune, and he holds the center of that giant masterpiece.
Or
Yeah.
does
Just-
Rebecca Ferguson?
Oh, who's also fucking phenomenal.
Mm.
And
He's
I
also
just
going
love
to
him.
play Willy Wonka.
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. Matinga, how is
Yeah?
that a Halloween crush?
I didn't know we were doing Halloween crushes. No one told me we were doing Halloween crushes.
Oh, that's
thought we
really
were just doing-
interesting. Yeah, that's really
Well, my
interesting.
John Krasinski is not a Halloween crush.
A Quiet
Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, but honey, she's about to do Willy Wonka, and Willy Wonka's got an edge of evil.
Yeah.
No, wait a
That's
minute.
true.
But
That's
honey-
true.
But somehow you knew that what we were featuring was Halloween themed. Y'all bitches.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
All right.
honey. But listen, also, I just want to say, love that top. Look at that top, girl.
Where?
Kill. Loving that top.
Yeah.
It's
Over.
just like, it is a fucking
Can you blow up his
sequined
face?
pullover. Yeah, I totally can.
Blow up his face, bitch. Blow up his. I mean, he's all right. If you're into that type, yes, of course. We see a sparkly shirt
Oh, look at
and
that.
a wispy, empty-eyed,
Look at that beautiful boy.
pasty,
I live.
Yeah.
not Halloween themed.
I fucking live.
No, he's very cute. If you like that skinny, underfed, pasty,
thin.
dead-eyed type,
He needs
he's
to put on-
thin.
He needs to eat something.
You
thin,
got it, honey.
darling.
I wish he'd eat me.
He's
He
thin,
needs to drink
darling.
some milk.
She's thin,
He
darling.
needs some milk.
She's thin, honey. Like she's
Oh,
really,
she's
really
thin.
thin.
Yeah, no, he's cute, and I did like him in Dune. I thought actually that was pretty good casting. I don't want to get too into Dune, but I thought that was really good casting, and I thought he was good
Yeah.
in it. I watched it with Miss Linda Borby came for a visit, and we watched it this week, and I think I
Okay.
liked it better in retrospect.
Yeah, better than the David Lynch version for sure.
Yeah.
which is still fun though. It's still fun.
With
It's
Sting.
fun. The best part was Sting in his little speedo. for
Yeah.
me.
You know what's super fun? People leaving snarky comments on our YouTube channel. Did you guys see this comment from Miss Wanda James?
Yes.
Congratulations for making this world a little cheaper, trashier, tackier, more vulgar, and full of verbal garbage. When I first saw that, I was pretty sure that was a compliment because I didn't read the whole thing, but I
Yeah.
love it.
Wait,
Thank
put it
you,
up
Miss
again?
Wanda. Hmm?
Was it a compliment?
No.
She's reading
And-
us.
Yeah, she's trying.
Yes.
Miss
She thinks
Wanda.
she thinks we're trash, and she's not wrong.
No,
But
she's not wrong.
But the funny thing is, like, honey, people want to like police other people's creativity, and like how. other
Why is
people
she
express
watching?
Themselves. Yeah, then don't. She clearly watched the whole thing.
Right.
It's not like she watched 10 minutes. She watched the whole thing because
Auntieways?
Yeah, because my Doug McKeon comment is at the end.
No. Well, what's so funny is that she was commenting on last year's Christmas special, Ho Ho Homework, about
Yes.
the Facts of Life Christmas,
Which is a
Right.
fierce
Episode.
episode.
which brings us to the segment we like to call Just the Facts.
Nope, Miss Honey, we didn't do what you were not featuring.
Oh, do you have something you're not featuring?
I do have a not featuring.
Well, that's
this
that's
week.
no longer a regular segment. And do you know how hard this edit's going to be now?
Oh, Christy.
Okay, girl, what are you not featuring?
What you not featuring, Mama?
I'm
Okay,
featuring that potato
so
internet.
So I am not featuring French bread as a weapon. But we'll get to it. But
Yeah.
I am not featuring. Okay. And I'm also not featuring, and this is probably like there are people who I happen to know, one or two people that actually watch the show that are gonna be like, what? I watched Madam X this week on Paramount Plus, which is Madonna's concert film.
Madonna.
And I want to say that I have seen Madonna on stage like about 3 times. She blew me away each and every time. I've seen all her shows because she tends to put out every single one of her concerts. So I've seen all her concerts, but I've seen her live 3 times. She has never, she may not be the star that she once was, and she's overfilled, and she worked on the butt and whatever. She's a legend and an icon, and I love her, and I always will love her. And she has never ceased to amaze me in concert. But I thought this Madam X was a pompous, overblown,
Was Timothy Chalamet in it?
artistic failure. Just like, I got angry. I had to turn it off. I came back to it the next day. So I just want to say that what I am not featuring this week is the Madam X concert.
Yeah. Well, I think that what Madonna did with that Madam X is a documentary concert film.
Yeah.
She made the world a little cheaper, a little trashier, tackier,
Yes.
more vulgar, and full of verbal garbage.
Indeed.
Which brings us to a segment we like to call Just the Facts.
Yes.
Remember that episode of Facts of Life when Mrs. Garret got caught stealing?
Every episode of So Auntieways, we do an episode of The Facts of Life, the 1980s classic NBC sitcom. And today we're doing the Halloween show from The Facts of Life.
And we've gone ahead a couple of seasons because
Yes.
they're not
Yes.
in Eastland.
We skipped ahead, darling.
So we
Yes.
jumped ahead to season 5, like Tootie's got breasts and Joe has joined the Lesbian Avengers and
But
and
Tootie's hair's still tired. A different style, but still tired.
not
Yeah.
about tired. It was the 80s.
Nah, I was tired.
And she still got the braces, but it's season 5, so they're
Yeah.
in Edna's Edibles.
I have a question.
Yeah.
There is a young lady in the credits
Yes.
who also shows up briefly
As a trick-or-treater.
as a trick-or-treater and someone who had clearly like pilfered from the store.
Ah.
I don't remember.
I don't
Is-
either.
I don't remember
So,
her. Who is
I
she?
think it was the Proto-Pippa.
The Proto-Pippa.
The Proto-Pippa. Like, you know how later they added Pippa, the Australian chick?
Right.
Yes.
I think this was like the trial run. It was like the cousin Oliver, let's add a young cast member.
Right.
Yeah.
She was the Proto-Pippa. Also, that actress was the voice of Bobby Hill on King of the Hill. Gag.
Wow.
Yeah, gag.
I'm gagged.
Pamela Adlon, I think her name is. Gag at that.
She
But yeah,
doesn't-
so
she adds nothing. I will say they finally did land on a kid, Sean Astin.
but what
uh,
about Pippa?
No, Pippa was there for like 4 episodes, but Sean
Hmm.
Astin was on for a couple years.
I didn't know that.
Interesting. Well, I think those are the Cloris Leachman years, darling.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it took a lesbian turn.
It took a turn, darling.
Honey.
But at this point in the show, it's season 5, and Edna has opened her shop, Edna's Edibles.
Yes.
The girls are living there. But my big question, why is Blair still there? She's rich. She doesn't have to be living with these hoes.
She loves these girls.
For story's sake.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Booby.
Yeah, but these girls love each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And are they in college? Like the 2 oldest girls must be in college by now.
Oh, they have to be. Unless they
Yeah.
were like left back repeatedly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that Tootie's probably still at Eastland.
Yes, because she was talking about doing finals.
Finals, right? Yes. And probably Natalie then too, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
Natalie looked
so,
good. Mindy
Natalie
Cohn
looked real good.
She looked
So
good.
this is the Halloween episode of The Facts of Life. It's season 5. And when we open, the girls are at Edna's Edibles, and Mrs. Garrett is super stressed out because there's a butcher strike, and it's the height of bratwurst season, a thing I did not know existed.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
My bratwurst orders are all backed up. I'm running out of meat. How could the butchers go on strike right in the middle of bratwurst season?
What also, what the fuck is bratwurst?
It's like links.
It's like a sausage type
Links.
type deal. Like
Yeah.
I've totally had bratwurst. Bratwurst
It was
is delicious.
a very meaty episode, and all
Yeah.
the meat on camera did not look healthy.
well,
No.
at one so right at the
Slimy
beginning,
and gray, like those guys
Slimy
at the
and
meat
gray.
rack. Yeah.
and it looked real. It looked like real raw
Sausage.
bratwurst.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. At one point, to illustrate from the very beginning of the episode that Mrs. Garrett is overworked and has too many orders to fulfill and doesn't have enough meat and stuff like that, she runs out from the kitchen with this giant basket of bratwurst, places it on the table. They have a moment of conversation about how she's very, very, very harried. And then she takes her basket of bratwurst and runs back into the kitchen. Why did she carry that bratwurst out into the store?
For an
no reason.
example, to show the
Honey,
audience.
Right,
because
to
when
show the
you
audience,
got
exactly.
quality meat in your possession, you got quality meat.
You got to
and-
show it off.
and you
Yeah.
got to show it off, but you got to keep it away from them hungry heifers. You don't leave that
Mhm.
shit unattended.
Yeah, and
Mm.
then that creepy dude makes like some nasty comment about that bratwurst is giving me ideas.
There was a lot
I know.
going on.
yeah. I
Okay,
was
so
like,
let's.
gross.
We're gonna get into the meat of it, and I mean that literally. But so
Yeah.
when it opens, Mrs. Garrett is having a meltdown because
Tizzy.
it's a tizzy because it's bratwurst season and the butchers are on strike. And Natalie's trying to work on her student film, and she's getting her camera all up in Miss Garrett's grill. And Joe and Blair are recovering from a hot and heavy scissor session, and Tootie's there also.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Tootie's there, ostensibly working in the store.
And this boy you mentioned, Roy,
Roy.
has the hots for Joe, and I can only think that the writers were like, "Yo, we got to de-les her a little.
Right.
Let's give her like a male love interest." But it just
Interest.
plays up how butch she is because she's so much butcher than him.
Then him.
Yeah, she's so much, and also like there's less than chemistry. Like there's like
Hatred.
there's hatred chemistry. Like it's that, and also wasn't that actor the same actor who in an earlier episode went out with, I think it's Natalie, and calls her a whore, and all the guys at the other academy
No,
think
that's
she's
No.
a slut.
No.
Isn't that the
Cuter.
same actor?
That one was cuter.
He was.
Yeah,
cuter?
no, it's a
'Cause I'm
different
like,
one.
That's the same guy.
I thought it was the same guy that plays the voice of Roger Rabbit.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I know that.
Would we do that again?
Please.
Oh, I love 80s
Yeah.
freestyle.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I don't know who that actor is, but so he's the bakery delivery boy, and at one point I think he says, "Mrs. Garrett, I dumped your buns in the kitchen."
Yes.
I dumped your buns in the kitchen, Mrs. Garrett. Oh, Joe. You and that bratwurst give me such ideas.
Yeah,
It was all, and then Blair and Joe
Double
are
they
playing.
all serve him shade.
They're
all
playing with
shade him.
bratwurst, and he's like, "This is giving me ideas, bitch. Watching you handle that sausage." I was
Yeah.
like, "This is nasty."
This
Yeah.
is children are watching the show.
Yeah. So in the midst of all this, bratwurst
But remember,
season,
that was kind of before PC time. Like
Right.
you could get away with it was
Double
weird. Like,
entendres.
you could get away with less, but yet in a way you could get away with more in a way.
But at one point, doesn't he say to her, "Yo, you want me to glaze those buns?" And she says, "Well, let me see your bratwurst." Okay. And then,
Yeah.
Hi.
okay. So Edna's Edibles, well, it's, it's Halloween season, I guess, which is bratwurst season, I
Right.
suppose.
October.
And then
Yes.
this old dude in a ugly
Mr.
jacket, Mr. Bigley,
Bigley.
Mr. Bigley.
honey, Mr. Piggly Wiggly Bigley strolls in with his ugly yellow jacket and proceeds to tell a tale of the gruesome Halloween massacre that had occurred in that house
To the Gruber sisters.
In
To the-
05.
in Aught 5.
But
05.
I think he means 1905.
Yes.
Well, yes, because this
Odd
was,
means
oh, it means oh,
05.
oh. Yes, if anyone
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
know, we're making fun of the crown. Oh.
Oh,
So in Aught 5, there was a Grizzly Gertie took a butcher knife and killed her sisters Clansa and
Fritza.
Dumpkopf
Yeah.
and Bling and Fritzy.
Old Gertie got Heidi and Helga and Fritzy with a big butcher knife.
So she
Yeah.
murdered her sisters, and since that time, the room where she stayed, Mrs. Garrett's room, is colder than the rest of the house, and it's haunted, and 5 ladies have gone crazy, and all this. Is that basically what the story is?
all the 5 people over the history of that particular townhouse that all resided in that particular room. And they
And
were
then-
all
Crazy.
women. They were
And
all
that's
women.
when Mrs. Garrett comes in. I got the meat. Right?
Well,
that's
no,
later.
later.
After
That's
Mr.
later.
Bigley
But she
disappears.
comes out, she's carrying a knife, she runs back out, and she's like, "Oh, now I have even more orders, and there's a meat shortage, and I don't know what to do. Girls, you've got to help me."
girls.
Girls. And she's kind of like teetering around and her hair is coming undone.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Bigley's like, "I'll take 25 pounds of your bratwurst." Is that it?
Or
5 pounds.
Is that bratwurst any good?
It's the best.
I'll pick up 5 pounds of it tomorrow on my way to the airport.
I was going to say, whatever it was, it seemed like an ungodly amount of sausage
Of
to be eating.
bratwurst.
Even 5 pounds of bratwurst is like,
That's a
dude,
lot.
like what are you planning on doing?
Honey, those slimy, gray-looking, greasy sausages.
Honey,
Ugh.
with some bratwurst and beer and a big like pretzel. Oh no, honey.
Don't sleep on
Don't
bratwurst.
sleep on that,
But
honey.
what's a career when you put it next to? Oh, that's not
Bratwurst.
worse.
Yeah.
Right. Fat as I
Park
am.
a DC-10 in my rear. But the best part of that song is fat as I am, who wants to see a diva? Fat as I am, I get confused now for Lainey Kazan. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good. If
Look
anyone
what
remembers
happened
Miss Lainey-
to Liz.
To Liz.
Yeah.
You were going to be Lainey Kazan's fucking assistant.
I was. I
honey.
did go. I did go for that interview. I did, and I'm so happy I didn't get the job
Oh, no.
Why?
No.
because I went to. So I had the interview in her apartment, and then I went to see her concert in Queens Park, whatever park. And I went backstage afterward, and her then assistant, the one that was leaving, bitch, was giving her a foot bath and a foot massage. I said, "Oh, this gig is not for
Oh,
me,
no.
darling. Oh,
Oh, no,
fuck
honey.
that career. No,
Yeah.
no.
But Miss Lainey Kazan is also in an incredible film with Divine called Lust in the Dust.
Yeah.
She was lovely.
And she
Yeah.
was lovely. And it's not a John Waters film, even though Miss Divine is in drag for this piece.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dusty comedic western. And
she
Miss-
is in a movie with Bette Midler. She plays the mother of the
Yeah.
younger version in Beaches. She plays
Right.
Mayim
Yes.
Bialik's mother. Yes.
and Miss Mayim Bialik, who turns it as Bet, as a
Yeah,
younger Bet.
I'm
She
so
turns
done
it.
with her. She could just suck an egg.
Yeah. Oh,
Sit
just
on
because
it.
You're not into what is that affectionate parenting thing that she's
Look
into?
what happened to Liz.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the facts of life. So Mr. Bigley Wiggly is going to buy all this bratwurst, and the girls are kind of like, "Yo, Mrs. Garrett seems a
Oh,
little
and
too."
he's wearing a yellow flannel jacket.
yes,
Yes,
that ugly,
it's-
ugly jacket.
That's super ugly. But he tells this story to the girls. And, so right away, not everyone except for Joe, but right away the girls were like, wow, Miss Garrett's room is kind of cold, and she's really frazzled. Like she seems kind of frazzled. And then, like, of course, Miss Garrett keeps on, unfortunately, like running out of the kitchen, like with a hatchet and a knife, like reinforcing this, and like, I don't have enough meat. How am I gonna find the meat?
And her apron is bloody.
Yeah, and it's like, and so like the girls are like they're spooked, but they're not super spooked, but they're like, okay,
Right.
And,
And then they're asleep.
right, they're asleep, and it's like now nighttime, and Miss Garrett, like, and this is the part that kind of doesn't make narrative sense when you get to the end of the episode, but we'll get to that later. Miss Garrett enters the room in the dark with a knife, holding the knife like this in shadow.
Yeah.
And and Tootie has decided to sleep on a chair because she's so freaked out.
Yeah.
That something's gonna happen. And Tootie notices Miss Garrett and just starts to scream. The girls all wake up. And
Joe and Blair in one bed.
Joe and Blair together in one bed. Miss Garrett is so harried that she doesn't even notice. And she's, what she really needs from the girls is that she needs the girls to get up at 6:30 in the morning and help her create like these baskets and mix the salads. Completely overworked. Salads.
At 6:30.
She's at 6:30 in the morning. But then Miss Mindy Cohn, Miss Natalie says, "Oh, you did it better last night because I woke up in the middle of the night and you were standing over my bed, saying, 'Oh, I'm Gertie and I'm gonna kill you,' and blah blah." And she was like, "Honey, I never did that. Bitches, get out of bed and come help me make the salad."
Right.
And she dashes.
It's only 6:30.
I know, but I need you to make the salads. I'm going to have to scrounge up some meat somewhere. I may have to get creative.
And like the girls are like, that's a joke. She wasn't standing over your bed last night. And Miss Natalie's like, no, I wasn't dreaming that. That fucking happened. And then
That
they
really
find
happened.
Mrs. Garrett's slipper in their room. So they didn't notice that slipper in the middle of the room for 24 hours. Because it's sitting right there.
Unless you just put it there.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And so whatever. So they go downstairs, I assume, and they're helping her with the salads. But remember, Miss Garrett is short about 25 pounds of meat.
Because of the
still.
butcher strike.
Because of the butcher strike.
And it's bratwurst season.
Yes,
Right.
which is clearly
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah. And then some trick-or-treaters come and they're dressed as Hansel and Gretel. And Mrs. Garrett, I gotta say, Charlotte Rae turns her performance in this episode.
Yeah.
She kind of does like a spooky, I'm gonna witchy, I'm gonna put you kids in the oven and eat you vibe.
Tell me, do you know the story of Hansel and Gretel?
Sure.
Good. Because I'm going to fatten you up and pop you in the oven.
Okay.
But she skirts the edge just enough where it could be sweet or it could be menacing.
Right.
But
But by
then she's
this
like-
point, Joe thinks that she is a killer, so she gets the kids out of the shop.
Well, but I do want to say there was a moment earlier, just a little bit earlier, where like Miss Garrett, like in between the scene in the bedroom and this later scene, where suddenly Miss Garrett has all the meat that she needs.
I got the meat! I got the meat! 25 pounds!
Oh, well, what about the strike?
Who knows? Maybe they settled it. But I'm not looking gift meat in the mouth.
It's just shown up, and so like she and the girls are like, where'd this fucking meat show up? And remember that this guy showed up, Mr. Bigley. So they find Mr. Bigley's coat, his ugly ass coat, in the garbage with a big butcher knife. And they're like, and they call his hotel because he was supposed to come and pick up 5 pounds of meat. He was supposed to check out. He never checked out. He missed his flight. Nobody knows where he is.
I could swear it was 25 pounds.
No, it's 5.
It was 5 pounds.
I think I was just so fucking traumatized by all this meat.
Yeah, and so also the kid that is putting the moves on Joe shows up and they tell him the story, and he's like, that's so weird because he actually showed up this morning. I saw him this morning. He came to pick up that order, but that goes in contrast to what Miss Garrett says, because Miss Garrett says, he never came
I never saw him
to pick up his order. So at this point, the girls are like the girls are convinced that she's done something, but Joe is still not convinced. But then she comes out and she's like, somebody taste the bratwurst, and the girls are like, oh no, we're good. And Joe's like, I'll take that bratwurst. She's hitting that bratwurst. Right. She's hitting it, and like finally,
like she's never had bratwurst before.
Like it's incredible. She throws some mustard on it, and finally the girls are like, listen, this happened. This happened.
The knife, the slipper, the cold room.
And then finally she takes a bite and she's like, this is the best bratwurst ever. Oh my God.
Right. So now even Joe is convinced.
And then Joe is finally convinced as well. And now the girls are freaked. And so that's why when the two little kids come in as Hansel and Gretel, like Joe's behind them, but Miss Garret can't see them. And she's like,
right, get out, get out, get out. Right. Yes.
She ushers the kids out. And Miss Garret is like, Joe, what the hell? But then, like, once again, in such a fierce performance, it's a very dense, story-filled episode.
Yeah.
Once again, Miss Garret skirts the edge between menace and sweetness. She's like, oh, whatever. I guess it's too late. And she closes the door of the store. She turns the closed door sign. She starts turning off lights. And she's like, well, ladies, girls, it's time to get in the kitchen. And all the girls are like, oh, whoa.
Turn off the rest of the lights, and I'll sharpen all the knives and the cleaver.
No, Mrs. Garret. We've made a pact to stay together.
But I can't use you all at once.
And Tootie thinks she's possessed.
Yes. Tootie thinks she's possessed, yes.
Yeah.
My book says this is how you exorcise evil spirits. You light candles in every corner of the room. That's not exorcism, that's Hanukkah.
And so it comes to a head in Edna's Edibles when, with French bread as a weapon and brooms, the girls are going to knock Mrs. Garret.
They're going to knock Miss Garret.
They
by the way,
beat her.
So you think somebody's cutting people up with a cleaver and you grab a hard French roll? Yeah.
They just took whatever was at hand. Like when the trick-or-treaters were ushered out, Blair tried to give them a box of pasta.
Right.
I mean, they're just using what's in Edna's Edibles, which I don't even know how that place stays open, honestly. But so they surround her and they accuse her of being a murderess. And they're like, bitch, we're going to beat you to learn.
We're going to beat you. Yeah. And then Miss Garret is like, she's like, girls. She's like, girls, what are you saying?
Right.
And they fess up. They're like, we think you killed, Mr. Bigley.
We think you crazy. And that's when Mr. Bigley reappears and says, oh, I hope I didn't fuck this up, Natalie.
Right.
And everyone's like, what?
How you know her name?
How you know her name?
You have no idea what I've just been accused of.
Well, Natalie, I hope I didn't mess things up, but I need my jacket.
Mess what up?
And it turns out that Mr. Bigley is actually Mr. Rezzaroni, who actually has shown up on the Christmas episode.
He was the Santa Claus, right?
And he is the guy who he's like the cemetery guy. He takes care of the cemetery.
He needs to be in a cemetery. The man is 200.
He's like 200, yeah. But like he's doing something for somebody. And
so what is actually going on here?
Boobie, what is going on?
What is going on?
Natalie has been filming a horror film with the help of that guy, Roy.
He pops up out of a container.
Out of a barrel. Yeah, with the camera.
She was doing her own paranormal activity.
Yeah, she made up the whole story and had this old man to help out. And he actually ends it pretty well. He's like, ciao.
Ciao. Ciao for now, darling.
Ciao for now.
Yeah. So Natalie had tricked all of them into being a part of her shitty student horror film,
which probably is now going to turn out kind of fierce.
Although they're over her.
They're over her for a second, but once again, so I want to say, it's fortuitous that Mrs. Garret decides to enter because Mrs. Garret knew nothing about this, but still Mrs. Garret enters the girls' bedroom in the middle of the night carrying a giant knife in shadows. Like, isn't that rather convenient?
Well, I think that Natalie planted the knife next to her toothbrush because she says, I found this knife next to my tooth. And then she just stumbles in with it. And, here's another question. Was Roy somewhere in the girls' bedroom filming? That's creepy as hell.
But I don't think so. I don't think so because I think that may have been unplanned. Maybe I don't know.
No, that was a scene with the slipper. That was Natalie's, big. I'm really gonna get them with Grizzly Gertie and.
Or maybe Natalie just had the camera somewhere hidden, like not Roy, but she had the camera on somewhere hidden.
Oh, I don't know. It's a little too sex lies and videotape for me.
It's kind of meta. Like she was doing a found footage before found footage films
was even
ever.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that's kind of wacky.
Maybe it was like a Faces of Death time frame.
Yes.
But so the girls are over her and it ends with Mrs. Garrett about to throttle her. Literally strangle her.
Yes.
Yes. And that is the Halloween episode of I Got the Meat. I mean, the facts of life.
And it was kind of fab. Like
it was kind of fab.
It was kind of fab. Was it as good as the Christmas episode?
No.
I thought was really lovely.
I think everybody was much more out of character. Like,
acting out of character.
It's never explained why is Mrs. Garrett bugging so hard.
Because the girls aren't helping her, and she's really super busy. And she's running a store. She's trying to create all this fucking bratwurst. Honey, making bratwurst is not easy.
No.
That takes work to make sauce.
It's that thing and putting the meat
and
in
then you got to twist it and
like Sweeney Todd.
Very Sweeney Todd. Well, those were meat pies.
Okay.
But
I don't want to talk about that club. You did take me and scared the hell out of me.
Oh, that was such a great show. It was in theater in the round. Great show.
I also like what Mrs. Garrett says. I never look gift meat in the mouth, bitch, but I'll take gift meat in my mouth. What up? Honey, but not Roy.
I look at gift meat right before it goes in my mouth.
That's what I'm saying. Well, this has been our very special Halloween episode of So Auntieways. Check the description for links to our merch, our Patreon, and all kinds of spooky, ooky things. Guys, what do you think? Thank you for chiming in.
Can I dedicate this episode to somebody?
Absolutely.
I want to dedicate this episode to an actor who passed away this week, and Peter Scolari, who I love from Bosom Buddies. My first boyfriend looked a lot like him. That's why I started dating him. So I just want to dedicate it to Peter.
Oh, I love that.
I love Peter Scolari. Bosom Buddies, Newhart.
So talented. And also, what a hot little body on him when he was doing Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies.
And a cutie pie and a funny guy, lifelong friend to Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And he was actually, when I saw that, I actually went, really? Too young, only 66.
Too young. Yeah. Too bad,
too
so
young.
sad.
Yeah.
Too bad, so sad. And I'd like to dedicate this episode to Proto Pippa, wherever you are in the world. This has been So Auntieways. This is Mike Diamond.
This is Miss Matinga.
And this is Boobs.
Happy Halloween. Woo!
Auntieways.